what if success wasn't about doing more, but syncing with your spiritual heartbeat?
If the missing key to that alignment is as simple as getting a good night's sleep, and especially awakened sleep, that helps us clarify our intentions and move through perceived obstacles so that we can be a clear channel for better health and wellness.
Beautiful. Pre-order now. Spiritual Heartbeat comes out on October 21st. Awakened Sleep comes out on October 28th. You can order the books now on Amazon. Dr. Suhas, I'm so happy to collaborate with you and talk to you about your new book coming out really soon. You have a book coming out on October 28th. Yes?
Yes, October 28th. Excited?
I see it behind you there. It's called Awakened Sleep. Yes?
Yes, it's an initial author's copy that we have received. It's an awakened sleep to get optimal sleep and get deep rest to unlock your health potential.
I have a saying in my coaching practice that I say to clients, and I say, I can solve 99% of your problems if you can improve your sleep.
I believe that fully.
Yes.
I believe that because you're absolutely right. And sleep, as I wrote in the book, is one of the most powerful anti-inflammatory activity and the immune boosting activity that one will ever do.
Absolutely.
And most importantly, it doesn't cost you a penny, but makes you feel fabulous. And you look forward to doing it every night, every night. The reason why we wrote the book, Olivia, is we still know the mechanics of sleep, how we sleep and the stages of sleep. That's where the science stops. We still don't know. And we can't even fathom the mystical aspects of sleep and the spiritual benefits of sleep for every creature, every species around the world, as if this goddess of sleep is casting her spell on each one of us, where we go to sleep, recharge our batteries, polish our brains, restock our sensory experiences, improve our cognition, thinking, get the energy and the vitality back next day morning. It's as if we are doing a dress rehearsal of dying every night. That's the same place where you and me go after we are long and gone. We still show up and wake up next day morning excited about another new day. And the funny thing is, what you call it as the day, is that the reality? Or what you're experiencing in the deep sleep, is that the reality? And nobody knows the answer still.
Why do you think it's so challenging for us to prioritize something that we now know is so important and is science-based and feels good for us? Why is it so hard for us to prioritize this, or maybe some of your patients and the things that you've seen in your practice?
The fast pace of life.
Mm-hmm.
I think we are just increasing the pace of human life so much that we have forgotten to sit down to eat. We created drive-through coffees and drive-through fast food places. We want everything in bite size and nut size. We can't even read a book. We want the gist of the book. People don't watch long movies. They have short clips that they have their attention span to. Our attention span is dwindling as we go from 3G to 4G to 5G to 6G. Our mind is becoming so fast that it cannot stay on one topic for a long time. And I think it happened to meditation earlier also, Liv, that people thought that, gosh, 20 minutes sitting and doing nothing with closed eyes, it's a waste of time. And suddenly we realize it's not a waste of time. People are more productive when you meditate regularly. Same with sleep. You are much more productive, healthier, happier when you get 8 hours of sleep. So we used to think earlier that when you have nothing else to do, what you do is sleep. But now we have painfully realized that sleep is something that you have to carve out a time. And it's not how much you sleep, but when you sleep.
What would you share with people around some things that they need to incorporate for their evening or morning rituals that would allow them to start to see some of those benefits. Because I think that I see that sometimes when people see like, oh, this is working, I can then prioritize it a bit, but they need a little bit of that ramp up or that efforting at first. How would you have somebody begin?
I think Ayurvedic science is the science which talks about Mother Nature and syncing your internal rhythms with the rhythms of nature. And the science is finally catching up to understand that your daily routine will decide the quality of your nightly routine and your sleep hygiene. And I think one of the starking research that came out is the more and more exposure that you get to daytime sunlight is what will decide the quality of your sleep. So staying physically active, eating the right kind of nutrition, eating the last meal 3 to 4 hours, which is fully digested before you sleep. These are so simple things that Ayurveda has been talking about for thousands of years and are even more practical and more relevant to modern day and age right now.
Yeah, I would definitely agree. Sometimes I'll have clients come to me and it seems like they have a psychological problem, but really it's a biological problem because their bodies actually are not very well, essentially. And it's making it harder and harder for them to tune into their practices or their intellect or their spirituality or a better mind state, a better mindset for themselves. So I think that this is so important to kind of get the basics together in order for us to expand our level of consciousness. Would you agree with
And
that?
you have been an author, you have been a life coach, you have been an educator, mentor, a corporate coach, and I really appreciate and wonder how you do that. And I think the secret is the common thread is the thread of spirituality between your work and our work is trying to be close to your own self realization and then lead a mindful life from there. I think spiritual heartbeat is all about that. Is finding your spiritual strength and then applying it to become a good mother, to become a good father, to become a good husband or wife, or an employer or an employee. Because at the end of the day, you want to be happy for no good reason.
Yeah,
It should be a non-sensorial happiness. Is that right? And
absolutely.
that spiritual solutions to the crisis that we feel with the modern life is so important. And I often tell people who are fearful of falling asleep because they are afraid of being alone. And this whole FOMO of fear of losing out, as if when they're asleep, someone is doing something that they don't know. That's why people are constantly checking their phones many, many times in the sleep.
Mm.
And no matter what you're seeing, what you're watching, it invariably disrupts your sleep.
Thank you so much for this conversation. It's very important. I'm so excited to be offering a bonus material for some of the listeners here. We're calling it Awakened Day, Restful Nights. You'll be on the Be Human Medicine podcast. There'll be a workbook involved, and we can do some Q&A together and have people ask questions that might help them in their day-to-day move forward and take bold action to elevate their states of consciousness and to say yes to awaken sleep.
Well, it was always a pleasure to be with you, Olivia. And I simply hope that the spiritual heartbeat and awakened sleep together is raising the collective consciousness of the country and the world.
Yeah.
You and me are both little flickering candles which do our own bit to shed and dispel the darkness of ignorance and bring in the light. Everything that you do, I wish you a great success for this, and we are on this path together. So count us in, and anything that we can do together to support this. And we will share this with all of us together on social media and see whether we can make spiritual heartbeat and awaken sleep a household name.
Absolutely. I love it. I can't wait. Thank you so much for this conversation, and we'll talk soon. Thank you.